Schwarzenegger or Schwarzenegger versus Stallone, either way you put it. Versus is right here. Who had the better movies? And I'm going to tell you who it is in my pick here because they had some great movies. I actually had a buddy over last night and we were talking about Mortal Kombat Annihilation, and Brian Thompson was Shao Kahn in that film. And when you think of Brian Thompson, you think of Cobra, where he starred with Sly Stone, Sylvester Stallone, in that film. The Rocky movies. When you think of Sylvester Stallone, you think of the Rocky movies. You think of the Expendable movies. I was not really a much of a big Rocky fan. I love Rocky Four. I think the Expendable films were really really great with Stallone. Cobra definitely was one of my favorites of his. The one off because it was only one movie. Him as Marion Corbin, Cobra, and of course that whole thing with him and Brian Thompson in that film was epic. Brian Thompson was scary, in that film. I mean, it's just it is what it is. But Cobra was a good one. Daylight was another good one. Let's see what other one was. Demolition Man with him and Wesley Snipes. That was a real good one. Judge Dredd. I've seen some of that. I believe I've not seen all of Judge Dredd, but it looked like it was a pretty good film from what I've seen of it. I mean, he's been in a lot. Stop Where My Mom Will Shoot, I believe was one of them. I think he was in a movie called Oscar, which I've never seen. Death Race from the 70s. That was a good one with him in it. In early Sylvester Stallone, a very young Sylvester Stallone in that film. That was right around the time when he was doing the Rocky franchise, or the start of it. Then you have he was in a movie with Henry Winkler. I don't know if it was called The Lords of Flatbush or whatever it was. They were like a greaser gang that were going to school and stuff like that. I've seen some of that. That was actually before Rocky, but Escape Plan with him and Schwarzenegger. I've never seen that one. Tango and Cash with him and Kurt Russell. That was really good. I really like that one. What else do we got here that I know of Stallone's that I've seen? I think I've seen some of the Specialists. That was him and I believe Sharon Stone. That was a pretty interesting one. Now over on Schwarzenegger's side, I've seen a lot of Schwarzenegger films, guys. Going off of Conan the Barbarian, Conan the Destroyer. Of course, they also had Wilt Chamberlain. You had Mako. You had Olivia de Balbo, who was the older sister to Fred Savage in The Wonder Years. You had Grace Jones. She was supermodel. Her from A View to a Kill, the last Roger Moore James Bond film. And between the two of those, I like both of those films, the Conan films. My favorite was Conan the Destroyer, however. Then you had Red Sonja, where he does make an appearance in that film as well. Schwarzenegger does. He has a supporting role in that film. Of course, Terminator, Eraser, Kindergarten Cop, Hercules in New York, which was a very, very, very early Schwarzenegger film. He was actually still a bodybuilder at that point. You have, End of Days. I remember when he made that his appearance on WWE SmackDown to promote that, and he backhanded Triple H and everything else like that. That was epic. I've seen that movie. That movie was pretty interesting in itself. Twins with him and Danny DeVito. Last Action Hero, which is another favorite of mine. I love that film. He was in Batman and Robin. A lot of people didn't like that one. Him as Mr. Freeze. Those movies were kind of silly and goofy, but they were pretty good. Raw Deal was another one. Predator, another good one right there. Commando. Oh man, to name them, man. Commando and Predator and True Lies. Him, Tom Arnold, and Jamie Lee Curtis and Tia Carey. Definitely a must see, that one. That probably was in my top 3 favorite Schwarzenegger movies of all time. True Lies is. Gosh, Jingle All the Way. Man, there's a lot here. There's a lot here, guys. Uh, with him, the Sixth Day is another good one. Collateral Damage is another one. The list goes on and on and on. And I've seen more of Schwarzenegger's films, and I love his films because between him and Stallone, even some of the Expendable films, I think Schwarzenegger was in one of the Expendable films. I think it might have been the second one, I believe. I think that was the only one he did. But when you think of the 80s action stars, you think of Stallone, you think of Schwarzenegger, you think of like Chuck Norris, all those guys. But, back in the day, you look at that, Schwarzenegger was the number one action star back in the day, And to make it really quick here, who is the winner to me in this? I like Stallone. I like some of his films. But when it comes to Conan the Barbarian, True Lies, Commando, all that, like that scene in Commando where he's telling, what's his name? Bullshit. Like that was funny. Because the way Arnold's accent is, because he's from Austria, At the end of the day, it's going to be Arnold Schwarzenegger for me, guys. Greatest. I might be going a little too far in this, but I think Schwarzenegger is the greatest action star of all time, in my opinion here. But yeah, Arnold Schwarzenegger takes the win for this one.